The result of people being put on this treadmill of trying to have their incomes keep up with the accumulation of prices in the economy has been, to date, to produce a worldwide, a global debt of $152 trillion. This is nearly 2.5 times the gross national product of the entire world. In order to liquidate this debt, there is going to have to be enormous production, obviously, because the production is what liberates the income that goes to pay off the debt. So if all of the production of the world was applied to the paying of this debt, it couldn't pay off half of it in a year. And of course, even if it was so devoted, it wouldn't solve the problem, because all that production that people are making has its accompanying costs that are carried off into the future as well, and become even more debt against which paucity of future income is going to have to be applied. It is a never-ending process, and under current rules, one that the population of the world simply cannot escape. Economists have defined the purposes of economic activity in very unrealistic terms. The goals that economists prescribe are full employment and maximizing production. Are these realistic? You have to ask what society in its right mind would want to keep everyone working full-time, say 40 years in a row, 8 hours a day, regardless of its gains in efficiency. This is surely insanity. If you have an economic project, the goal ought to be to get it done as quickly as possible with as little bother to everyone concerned as possible. This, however, is inconsistent with the economist's goal of maintaining full employment. Major Douglas drew attention to the irony in the fact that if you look at the world of engineering, the people in it are applying their brains and their learning as best they can to get things done ever more efficiently, which means employing less and less human effort. At the same time, the economists and the politicians have an exactly opposite goal, this thing called full employment, which means that they are promising to keep people busy while the engineers are endeavoring to free them from the necessity of work. It is a dramatic instance of what is known these days as cognitive dissonance, where you are trying to reconcile two inconsistent, conflicting ideas in your mind. Because they cannot be reconciled, the mind collapses before the challenge and just can't deal with it. If you think about it, wouldn't, in fact, it be a magnificent achievement if in our economy we attained an unemployment rate of 90%? That is the orientation we should have, to maximize efficiency, to provide people with opportunity to do things other than work under instruction and under the controls of other people.